Hey guys, Chris here from Amp Life. In today's video, I'm going to give you 7 reasons why my life improved after I had my amputation. Reason number 1, uncertainty. So I was in a state of flux. I had a stiff leg with a fused knee and a fused ankle, and I couldn't tell you where I'd been a year or 5 or 10. I had no idea with the situation at the time what was possible, what my mobility would be like in the future. So I realized that if I had the amputation done, I would know exactly what I'm dealing with, as opposed to the uncertainty of shall I do it, shall I not do it, what is possible if I do, what if I do this operation or that, or I take some skin off my back and I put it. I was just sick of the whole thing. So the uncertainty drove me to distraction, and the knowledge that if I had the leg amputated, I had a bottom line situation and I could define what I needed to do and get on with it would be an immense relief, and it was. Reason number 2 was pain. I had a tremendous pain as a result of the accident. I tolerated it for 4 years. So it was 4 years before the accident, or from the accident, until I decided to amputate, that I had to deal with constant pain and infection. I just couldn't do it anymore. The amount of painkillers that I took to deal with the pain, I became addicted to opioids in the end. That's over, thank God, and that's another video that I'll make at some time. It's about addictions or self-destructive behaviors, tendencies that might come from disability. So that's over. But also the constant infections that I got took me in and out of hospital. I think I've had about, seriously, no less than 35, maybe 40 operations in this time that I had from when I had the paragliding accident to now. And I just couldn't do it anymore. I was sick of it. To prepare to go into a hospital, you guys know what I'm talking about. Those of us that have had an accident, that have struggled, that have become elective amputees. I'm not suggesting that if you had the traumatic incident that this is not true, but going in and out of hospital is horrible. The build-up to going to the hospital, the time spent there, the time recovering has just robbed me of so much time that I realized at some point is I can never get that back. That's time lost, and I needed to get on with things. That it was a big up to have a leg amputated, but at least it was finite. I knew what I was going to deal with. I knew that there would be a recovery period, and then that from there on, I would be able to move on and have a plan. So number 3 is my mobility had been severely impacted on by the paragliding accident. I was very much restricted in what I could carry, where I could go, where I could sit. For instance, it would be very difficult for me to drive a car or be a passenger in a car because of the stiff leg. It was difficult for me to move out of harm quickly. So I felt that my safety was compromised. It was terrible to go to a beach with a stiff leg. It was difficult to try a broomstick to your leg and try and move around and see how severely your mobility is impacted. And I would imagine somebody out there listening to this will know exactly what I'm talking about, or whatever disability you have at the moment pre-amputation, if you're contemplating it. I couldn't cope with the uncertainty of the lack of mobility anymore. I needed to know that this was what's going to happen, that I would get a prosthetic leg, and at least then there would be a possibility for improvement depending on the prosthetics and everything that comes along with that. And that would, I figured out with a good positive attitude, so much would be possible. I'd seen it, I'd seen people on YouTube do it. The evidence was everywhere. Number 4 is lifestyle. My life before the accident was all about rowing, swimming, surfing, running, cliff jumping, paragliding, the thing that cost me my leg. So my lifestyle was all about being outdoors, and being stuck inside and being tied to a chair or to a bed, or just not being able to get around was awful. I had to get back to a point where I could identify what was possible, to get back as much of my lifestyle as I possibly could, my previous lifestyle, but also to introduce new aspects into my life. For instance, now I do hiking, which I enjoy immensely, many other things that has really, really improved my life. Number 5, my life got better because there are new opportunities. I've met a bunch of people, a ton of people like you and I, that have opened my eyes to different parts of people's struggles, different aspects of this world. As a result of my accident, I went back to study. I studied psychology and counseling. So as a result of that, today I work with people that struggle with addictions and people that struggle with their disabilities. So it opened up a whole new world of possibilities for me. Of course, it comes with a decision to go after those possibilities. The possibilities are out there. We have the resources, we have the talents, we have the intellect, hopefully. We have access to, hopefully, everything that we need to engage new opportunities. So I believe that they are out there. We've got to find a way from where we are now to where they are, the way to get there. Number 6 is family. The loss of my leg had a huge impact because we're an outdoors family. All my kids surf. They're all outdoors people. They all like hiking, cycling, many different outdoor activities. My wife is very active outdoors. So, and suddenly I felt myself being excluded from, not because they were doing it, I was excluding myself because I felt inadequate. I felt like I was a burden to them. And there was a part of the family life that fell away, and it depressed me, frankly. And once I'd had the amputation done and I got the right prosthetics together, I could step back into that part of our lives, and it made a huge difference in my general sense of well-being. The 7th is knowledge of myself. I guess you could call it identity. I've learned so much about myself over these last few years, and I'm not sure that it would have come about if I hadn't encountered some sort of a crisis in my life. And this paragliding accident brought the crisis, and it forced me to confront parts of myself which I don't think I ever would have if it wasn't for the accident. So to be able to take the time to reflect on what was before the accident, to have gone through difficulties and experienced good stuff too, but a lot of difficulties forced me to reassess what I want from life, what I want from relationships, and how to engage aspects of my life that would bring about a good lifestyle, quality of life. Okay guys, that's it. 7 reasons why my life improved after amputation. Let me just put that into perspective. If you had to tell me you can choose 1 leg or 2 legs, obviously I'll take 2 legs. I'm not suggesting that any sane person would say, take away my leg, it would be better. What I'm suggesting is that having lost my leg, I'd gained so much in my life that I would have to really think hard about it. If somebody said, you can have your leg back, but at the expense of what you've learned about life and about yourself, I'm not so sure that I would take the leg back. It's quite a wild statement to make. But it's true. Okay guys, thanks for listening today. I look forward to seeing you in the next one. Take it easy. Ciao.